This presentation will look at the benefits and disadvantages of a cross-curricular approach, particularly in the context of maths and science. It will then go on to look at specific examples of cross-curricular approaches to maths and science and evaluate their worth.
The Oxford Dictionary describes cross-curricular in the following way: involving curricula in more than one educational subject. According to the CFE Briefing 2012, a cross-curricular approach provides opportunities for deepening learning, for example, through exploring an issue, solving problems, or completing a final project. According to the Qualifications and Curriculum Authority Futures Programme, we are approaching an exciting time where we have opportunities to place subjects alongside processes, values, social justice, and broader areas of learning. What are the advantages? Cross-curricular approaches have many advantages. These include motivation. Cross-curricular teaching has the ability to increase motivation for learning in students and to engage them. Instead of learning skills in isolation, students are able to participate in experience, meaning they can see the value of what they are learning by becoming more actively engaged. Another benefit is improved learning. According to Thayers, students learn more when they are exploring what they are learning, through interaction with teachers, classmates, and members of the community. Cross-curricular learning enables pupils as well as teachers to make connections in their learning by exploring clear and relevant links across the curriculum. Hilary Staples highlights the importance of integrating a cross-curricular approach, saying that it offers students advanced thinking skills, leading to discovery and real-world problem-solving. According to the Primary Curriculum Review Executive Summary, the touchstone of an excellent curriculum is that it instills in children a love of learning for its own sake. This means that primary children must not only learn what to study, they must also learn how to study. The CFE briefing guidance also suggests that a cross-curriculum approach is highly important with regards to the curriculum for excellence and can aid the ethos and life of the school and community as well as personal development. Disadvantages. The cross-curricular approach has sparked a lot of interest and many are in favour of the practice. However, it is not without criticism. The arguments against include: it lacks rigour and pupils may not develop essential subject-specific skills. Subjects lose their identity. Learning is superficial and fragmentary. Tenuous links are made between subjects. Jones argues that a cross-curricular approach can cause integration confusion and is very time-consuming in terms of preparation. According to Donald Barr, professors who focus on interdisciplinary studies isolate themselves from the core of their field. Another critic, Szostak, who says, it is sometimes argued, and I have witnessed these arguments myself, that the suggested material is too meta-theoretical, too far removed from the real-world problems that interdisciplinary research usually addresses. Although these points do bear some relevance and make a fair assertion, it seems that the reason for the listed negative outcomes would only be due to bad planning on the part of the teacher. It is up to the teacher to make sure that, whilst taking a cross-curricular approach, the children have a full and varied subject knowledge of each individual subject. It is a teacher's responsibility to make sure that the links are not tenuous and learning does not become superficial, all of which are possible whilst maintaining a cross-curricular timetable. Commenting on maths in particular, Hiscock argues also that children taught maths discreetly often find the abstract nature of maths daunting and therefore have decreased motivation, particularly if they cannot see the relevance to their everyday lives. Other critics fear the loss of subject rigour. The Campaign for Real Education regret the current lack of traditional subject borders. They desire the return of honest subjects as a result of negative assessment of cross-curricular developments, such as personal, social and health education. Practice. So, what about maths and science together? Peter Anson, who wrote an article for The Guardian about cross-curricular practices in maths, highlights that more and more teachers now see the benefits of cross-curricular lessons. He expresses that there are so many historical events and technological and scientific breakthroughs that can be linked to mathematics, which gives more context and relevance to the subject. In his experience, he sees that as long as teachers are explaining and remaining clear about the fundamental concepts in mathematics, something which remains very important, cross-curricular approaches can be an enrichment of mathematics. He also adds that an orthodox approach may be the key to engaging pupils with no previous interest in the subject of maths. Ranson uses science as a clear crossover subject that works well with maths. He talks about the STEM initiative, which works to promote science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and how they play a big role in education and linking these subjects together. This can provide a useful resource for linking science and maths. Ranson highlights the importance of relating to his own practice pupils who have struggled in the past, having their interests sparked through cross-curricular lessons. He also promotes the value in collecting feedback from pupils in order to improve on practice. Another example of linking maths and science together can be found at King James School. Teachers in the maths and science departments of King James School worked together in order to prepare a rockets project as part of a cross-curricular day held by the school. This was then followed up in maths lessons and is reported as providing a high-quality and enjoyable learning experience for staff and students. In an article written about their practice and results, the purpose of the project was outlined as follows: to strengthen links between the school's two science college specialisms, to make explicit to all participating staff and students how mathematics and science are linked and how to develop students' transfer of skills between subjects, to develop mathematical skills of science staff, to develop skills of mathematics staff through creation of functional mathematics tasks, to encourage all staff to reflect on their current skills and practice and learn through others. The article writes that the project itself required students to understand the factors involved in successfully launching a rocket to hit a target 40 metres away. In order to facilitate this, staff had to pose themselves a series of questions such as: will rockets launch at the same angle? How will students record their data? What other ways of collecting evidence can be utilised? How will students think about the factors involved scientifically rather than simply approaching the task in a random way? So what did they learn? The article reveals that the project produced spectacular results. The project provided real-life applications and genuine cross-curricular links. It stimulated student interest and improved their understanding of the topics covered, all at the same time. This project seems like a positive, effective and creative approach to linking the lessons, and the sheer attraction of it would spark the interest of many pupils, however little they usually understand maths and science. Real-life application and problem-solving encourage pupils to try hard and engage in the subject. Hiscock, in her article, gives some great examples of maths and science working collaboratively. Measuring. Within the maths curriculum, children are expected to learn to measure length, weight and capacity using appropriate equipment. At the heart of using a measuring equipment is the ability to read a number line, as this is what the scale on any measuring equipment is. Measuring skills can be taught in a maths context, where there is a purpose to the task, as well as in a science context, where some additional knowledge or understanding will be gained by carrying out the task, so that motivation to carry out the task will be greater. Hiscock also relates the use of ICT to demonstrate how to read the scale beforehand. Examples are available among the primary National Strategy interactive teaching programs. She promotes another ICT resource for teaching about capacity, where a measuring cylinder can be filled and emptied using different taps. She rightly notes that this use of ICT is far better for pupils than gathering around the teacher's desk trying to see the cylinder. She also highlights that there are other aspects of measuring that are not specified in the maths curriculum, such as measuring forces and temperature, where when the children are faced with these in a science investigation, they will benefit from being reminded of their maths skills. Hiscock highlights other important links to science and maths. Decimals. Using their decimal skills in science not only helps children to practice but also to apply them to real situations. Presenting data. Children need to know how to present data using graphs and diagrams. Knowing number lines comes in handy here, and so does the use of ICT, where graphs can be created electronically. She suggests a fun way of doing this using a human bar chart. Data logging on the computer. This provides an instant log of results and saves the children spending lots of time logging the data and instead understanding and interpreting the data.
In conclusion, cross-curricular lessons work well and are an effective and creative way of engaging and teaching pupils when used appropriately and planned well. It is important for a teacher to know when subject links are appropriate and when not. Maths and science can, when well prepared, lend themselves to each other and provide a fun and exciting, hands-on, real-life problem-solving experience for children. It can also be appropriate for the use of ICT to be incorporated for such things as modelling and data logging.